The Cultural Commission meeting for September 8th, 2025 is called to order at 5:32 p.m. Would Director Moreno please call roll?
Commissioner Tozer?
Here.
Commissioner Einberg? Here. Commissioner Bernicki? Commissioner Damiano? Present. Commissioner Guillet?
Here.
Chair Hernandez?
Here. Here.
Sorry. Chair Frazier. First name was coming, not the last.
Sorry, we have a quorum. I move to have Commissioner Bernicki's previous and current absences excused. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Motion passes. This is a pen for this. Are there any additions or removals to today's agenda from the council? Then I move to add an agenda item to discuss the idea of starting the process of creating a Washington Creative District in Duvall. Can I get a second on that? Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Motion passes. The item will be added as item H4. I move to accept next order of business. I move to accept the minutes of the previous meetings as is. Is there a second? Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Motion passes. Easy council today. Next order of business. Are there any staff announcements for today's meeting?
Yes.
Do you want me to go?
You can go first.
Oh, Sorry, there were so many things to share that I wanted to make sure and get the photos of them captured for you. There's a lot of cool stuff that went on while we were on break.
This is the most calm part of my day so far. So take your time.
I mean, I did have it up
Well,
here.
looking at, I'm wondering if somebody could let me know what a creative district destination means.
Well, we're going to be talking about that later,
Okay.
as well as I believe we have some public comment on that as well. And then any questions you have later, we can bring up at that time.
Sorry, it's been a minute since I've had to share this.
Okay, been a minute for all of us. That's for sure.
Okay. Is it working? Perfect. Where? Okay. So the mural at First in Virginia, I don't know if anyone's driven by or walked by, but it is completed. The artist is to the point where she's done and now is ready for the community paint days. So the community paint days are scheduled for September 18th from, I believe, 5 to 7. There's 4 time slots, 15-minute time slots for each sign-up session. And then we're going to host a community paint day on the 20th, which is Saturday from 11 to 1. And on that day is where we will invite the community to come and complete the handprint, the heart handprint, and then any other little touch-ups that need to happen that day. So there's that. So if you haven't seen it, you should go by. It looks really good.
I live a block away from that. I pass it every day.
And then we did order 2 of the Rainwork stencils from the supplier that Commissioner Bernicki recommended. I didn't want to order them all through there. I wanted to kind of see what they came back as, which I'm glad I didn't, because I ordered the really, really thick ones, and we don't need them to be that sturdy. So we can go down to the second tier of thickness, and they're a little bit cheaper. So I'll continue to order the rest of them.
Okay.
So those are on the back table if you want to see those. And then we finished up Summer Stage pretty strong. We had 4 regular Wednesday concerts. Our 13 till midnight concert was the highest attended concert. We had over 1,600 people attend that concert. And Cynthia and our community development director, Laura Thomas, they made probably close to 300 bracelets that day. Friendship bracelets. They were like swarmed by kids coming and making bracelets. And then our police department got involved as well, and they made bracelets to exchange with everybody, and that was really fun.
Nice.
So and then our 25th anniversary celebration was on a Saturday, and that was something new that I'm not sure had ever been attempted before.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I'm not sure.
it was
Maybe
new.
Sean, you
Did the Snow River Rock
festival concert thing
Okay.
on Saturday. It was a one-day thing, yeah, but it was different, but in summer stage.
It was pretty interesting. It was an interesting thing to try. We started pretty early in the day at noon and we went all the way to about 8:45. Our closing act was Austin Jenks, so there was pretty good crowd for that. And then at that concert, Jolie Davidson was there and he did a live painting or live like sketching. And so he completed his artwork and he's gonna be bringing it by, and Kelsey and I are going to check with DFA to see about the artist that's presenting in City Hall right now, to see when their artwork's coming down. So we can display this there, and then eventually this will live here. So, back there. Yeah. So yeah, he did that all live. He was doing sketching while he was there, and it was pretty cool. He had his little notebook, and he's just been such a pleasure to work with.
Oh, he's
You know,
awesome.
did the
I love
things.
Joey.
Yeah, so those are really cool. That is all I have, and I believe Cynthia has stuff to share as well.
Yes, so Saga on the second part of our Birds of the Valley mural. So it looks beautiful. The student artist has finished up. We are working with the community on trying to manage all of the real estate signs that continue to be put up in front of the art.
See this?
So that we can, and future public policy work out of our community development department on creating space around our art to have that be kind of a board free signage. We don't currently have a policy that prohibits it, but we would like to explore that in the future because we have this beautiful art and we want to make sure that we honor it and that it's seen. So the mural is done. The second part was either the idea was to create die cast birds throughout the city, 10 of them, to create a scavenger hunt. We took a look and found a couple of places to post it. It ended up being a very expensive project. So we have a couple $1,000s for the die cast birds. Everywhere we went was 20,000 and up because of design and then fabrication. So probably not going to be able to do that. So we pivoted. The first was we thought we were ordering a little bird about this. When we opened the box, Kelsey and I, our deputy city clerk, we have this charming fellow. He's probably too big for a scavenger hunt.
I'm gonna say, this might go against our sign ordinance, actually.
He's big. I don't have the heart to return him. So he is down City Hall. We haven't named him yet, but I'll integrate him into this project somehow. But so the second thing I did was go on Etsy. And so I found this
Oh,
on Etsy, which is a red-tailed hawk, and then some stickers that we could potentially, and we have a member of our staff who's really good at metal fabricating. So we're thinking about maybe pivoting to this. This could be put on buildings and on trees with little paint to the tree. So this is kind of where we're at. I'm working with this concept now. These are only $8. So between fabricating them, which I think a member of staff probably could do, and then we have an artist on staff too, who's pretty good at etching and design. Jen, you may have sat next to him at the 25th anniversary summer stage celebration. He was kind of helping us at the art table.
yes.
So we're gonna work on this and see if I can figure out how to make this 10 of these throughout the city, tucked into eaves.
Okay.
Because I think this will be an affordable option and still get us kind of where we want to go in terms of getting people out in the city and exploring and still doing native birds. So that's where we are on that project. This guy was a little more.
How much was it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he was 60 something, I think. Yeah.
What I'm hearing is those are going to appear in my garden.
I mean, and so let's try this, the smaller one, to see if it works and people get out and they're interacting with it. We can always come back to it and add more if it's successful, but kind of think that maybe we start with the cheaper option, see if the project is successful, and then we'll go on from there.
I really like the etched idea, because it's we can make it stylized, we can also make it the same pattern for every single one. But another thing we can do for etching too is we can put the QR code directly
what I was
on
gonna
the
say.
panel
Yeah,
for them to scan it. I
That's a
think
good
that's actually
idea.
a great idea. Have we talked to any of the local businesses to see if they want to possibly sponsor a bird?
not yet, because I'm still trying to figure out how to get something in production. So we certainly could though, because once we get like kind of the and pick city locations where we would have permission to put them, create a poem around them, we could then reach out to the chamber and businesses and see if there are any businesses that would like to have one on their location as well.
I think that's fantastic.
Yes.
I actually think it's better than the diecast idea.
Yeah, I mean, certainly cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably do the whole project for a couple $100 as opposed to $20,000. Yeah, ended up being more expensive than I thought, but we'll give it a go and see how it goes.
Awesome.
I think we should move red around. Or do the, QR codes on the little stamp, but also move red around.
I think he needs to be a hood ornament on one of the utility trucks.
We could too, I could replace him for the giraffe stuffed animal that we put inside to.
Never mind,
no. I was about to say, I know there's some people who don't like the giraffe idea. Some people go for the hawk idea.
An owl that's about the same size I can donate. If you need some room.
And that's all I have.
Awesome. Any further discussion on these? I think these are great. That's a great idea. I'm very happy with that. And really looking forward to seeing those out there because I'm now stoked for those. I didn't even think about them. That's awesome. Anything further on this? On my computer. Can I turn on this? Okay, my computer is not going to be happy with me. So we'll move on to the next order of business, which is public comment. Do we have anyone who wishes to make public comment today?
So we have two people signed up for public comment, Camille Hansen and Elizabeth Hill.
Mhm.
So Camille, if you wanna approach the podium there.
Are you all speaking individually or are you speaking as part of Duvall Foundation for the Arts?
We're speaking as Wall Foundation.
Together, so
So you get 5 minutes.
you get 5 minutes to speak. So by all means, just so
Do you
you
need a second to get the timer going?
get the what?
The timer?
Oh, yeah, I can read off the little disclaimer while we're there too, so.
Thank you.
So during the designated public commentary period within cultural commission meetings, individuals are allotted a 3-minute speaking duration while representatives of the organization may address up to 5 minutes. Before presenting, just please disclose your name and residential affiliation with the city.
My name is Camille Hansen, Cammy for short, and I live in Duvall. I am currently the president of the Duvall Foundation of the Arts Board. And I'm here today to talk about partnering hopefully with the city as an organization for the creative district. And this is really precious because I love Edmonds and it's a creative district and then I love Duvall. And so I'm very passionate about this project and I think it gives the city great benefits. For instance, it boosts the economy and downtown revitalization. It gives more grants for creative jobs or any kind of art. And there's just a lot of other benefits that it will do for the city and the DFA's one of our founding goals is to promote art in Duvall and in the Snoqualmie Valley. So we are very passionate about this. And so I just have a list of what the art organization would provide with the city. And that is, and I have a handout if anyone wants it, but it's just a cheat sheet.
We can take handout.
So the art organization provides to the city would be art expertise, programming, events, education, public art, community connections with artists, cultural groups, underserved populations, and then data and storytelling about creative assets such as sandblast. The DFA is is gonna be 30 years old in 2027, so we've been a part of Duvall for a long time. And so we have a lot of history, about what we've done within our audiences. We would provide letters of support, for the arts WA application. And commitment to partnership, liaison, volunteers, and kind resources, that kind of thing. And then finally, a strategic input to shape the 3 to 5 year creative district plan, which will help with that. And then what we need from the city, to help with this goal is a formal recognition, some kind of letter, an official letter of support from mayor, council, planning director, resources and staff. I don't necessarily know if we need that, but we're not a huge organization. But that was just one of the suggestions that was there. A seat at the table, visibility and promotion through city brand and tourism communications. And then commitment to equity and shared goals in building a vibrant, inclusive district. This is something I put together quickly, but I thought it really encompasses a partnership and what we can do. And like I said, I'm just super excited about just being a little piece of this.
Right.
So that's my comment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next we have Elizabeth Hill.
Hi, I live in unincorporated King County outside of the city limit. And I come for a couple of reasons. The main one is to say, and hopefully you really hear this, what a great job the Arts Commission is doing. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I mean, it's really, really nice to see things coming together, you know, around the city. And the murals are so beautiful. And you know, that wall sat blank for I don't know how long.
You know.
So, thank you. And thank you to Cynthia and Rita. I mean, you guys are doing great work. Very professional and encouraging. Then the other thing I wanted to say was, and I tell everybody that too, everybody that will listen, which is pretty much anybody that I get their ear. The DFA is starting to talk with CCT again. That's the community, what do they call it? Cascade Community Theater. It's a local theater, community theater group. And they've worked with us before on trying to get an indoor performance space. So we're starting to meet again. And nothing with, you know, concrete to report, just that we're starting to talk and think about taking another run at it. So that's what's going on there. And I was thinking maybe, well, first of all, I want to apologize. I'm probably not going to stay for the whole meeting because I've been really struggling with all the smoke that we've had and I'm still not totally recovered yet. But I was thinking maybe after one of your meetings or whenever it might work for you guys, we could like give you a tour of our property and where the utilities are. For instance, I think that's really interesting. Probably most people don't. Sean, you like.
Definitely.
And then just kind of where the building can be and the outdoor stage and just sort of just from now forward, like what's possible or what might be possible, but just so you really kind of get a sense of it. If you're interested, and you can just let us know. And then the other thing was the stage down at the police station. I've heard good things about that, but I don't really know, you know, totally what it's going to be like or how it's going to. And I'd love to hear more about that in some way at some point. So that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Is there anything further today? Seeing none, I would say we go on to existing business, which is the stencil making work party. Commissioner Nikki is not here, she's spearheading this. Do you want to actually, do we have anything to discuss on that with her absence, or do we want to table this to the next?
I think, if you'd like, we can move forward with ordering. I think it was giraffe hopscotch. And then we can just order emojis if you'd like, just to get the project moving.
Yeah, given that we've kicked this down the road about 3 meetings, I would be fine with that if you all are fine with that.
Yeah, I move you do that.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Seconded then, seconded. So yeah, let's go ahead and move forward. I'll just go ahead, ordering the stencils.
And this way too, we can get them out as school is getting started before the big rainy season, and then we can always add to it. You know, in the spring and summer.
Awesome. Did you have something?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a fly running around here, so.
And where will the workshop occur? Will it be thing or outside or?
The workshop for us making the stencils, that's kind of what we're gonna discuss with Commissioner Dickey, unless you have anything on that.
I thought we weren't gonna make them.
No, we won't need to, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one we won't need to.
Well,
But we can.
there are some that you had all talked about designing in her studio, the giraffe hopscotch and a couple others, which we can't. So there are some that we can just order because they're either block letters or emojis. We can get those done. But the ones that required creation with Commissioner Bernicki are the ones that we won't be able to order, but we can get some down, get excitement about it, and then we can always order more later.
I just had a devilish idea. One of the stencils we could make is the bird with a QR code. That would be an Easter egg surprise, bird number 11. So we tell people there's 10 out there, but if they scan that one, they get a little pop-up that says, you found the secret bird.
Is the resolution on this good enough to register a QR code?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I don't know on those. If
That's
it
true.
will-
are pretty thick.
Okay, maybe, it would have been nice, but I'm an old video game nerd and I love Easter eggs.
But I love the idea of having him honored in rain art.
Awesome. Well, any further discussion on the stencils at that point? Let's go ahead and order what we can, and when Commissioner Bernicki is here, we'll discuss making more for the spring. So let's go on to new business, which is a call for artists for the Visitor Center mural and the Night Sky mural. Have any discussion on that? Any information?
No, I think we were gonna move forward with putting out the call for artists, just seeing if there was any information that you specifically wanted in the call for artists or.
Not offhand that I can think of. We pretty much discussed the heck out of that one and what we kind of want. I think we're gonna be good to just use our standard call for artists on that.
Okay,
Do we bring it back for?
I don't think so. I think we could probably just do it and release it. So as a reminder, this will be, the staircase here will be flowers of the valley on the not on the top of the stairs, but along the
riser.
riser, and so they're gonna treat it over the winter. Public Works, we went with them, so when we have a chance, we'll clean up the stairs. Probably similar, I mean, we're learning about murals, right? And so usually they get painted in the summer. We're finding that our artists need a long period of time of dry weather. But if we can get them all done and designed in time for like May, when we get stretches of warm weather, it can go ahead and start producing them. So that's this, and then the night sky mural will be on the snack shack at Big Rock.
Nice.
Is there any chance that we can get glow in the dark paint for the stars?
Yeah, we can put it in the call for artists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The design should call for some.
I don't know how good those paints are, but it would be really cool
Yeah.
to do that.
And I don't think, what is our gentleman that does stargazing?
David,
I don't think David would be too upset with glow in the dark.
I don't think so.
We'll check.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it would produce enough light to cause a problem, but
Well, and even if it did, it'd be easy to pop a screen up for it for viewing nights.
Yeah, that's great. That's really exciting.
The stairway paint, that doesn't count the creation of the garden down there. We've kind of discussed on and off.
Yeah, most recently I did talk to Rotary. I went to a Rotary meeting last month about some of the projects that they want to get involved in potentially. And beautification of this building and the surrounding areas is one of the things that Rotary was talking about. So if we can get, that painted, we have talked about the book bench and potentially putting the book bench or some iteration of book seating down here with a picnic table. I mean, I would like to by next summer really have that be a beautiful space for gathering down here. And if the Rotary could help with the project, I think that would be great, but more to come on that. I don't know where they are talking about different projects.
Any further discussion? Does staff need anything from us to get this started?
We just need to write.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that, then. We will-
Really quickly though, speaking of this building and beautification, I'm just gonna put a plug in. September 24th, we are putting a tent up with outdoor lighting for family game night. We're gonna start trying to activate this space down here along with the patio and get more people thinking about this building as a gathering space, kind of in preparation to what we would like to see in the summer for this space.
What time?
It's 30 to sunset. No, it's 6 to sunset.
Yeah, 6 to sunset.
Yeah.
We do
There's
have a
flyers
number-
at City Hall on the window.
we do have a number of people on council who could run a D&D game for the family. D&D game.
We have outdoor, so through a grant from Councilmember Perry, we have how many sets of cornholes? 3 full sets of cornhole, out big Jenga, Connect 4, ring tosses. I can't remember, and then, a kickball where you.
Oh, yeah,
set
the target.
kickball, hit the target, big target. So we'll have to hold that out and piloting it and see if it.
When is it? September
September 24th.
24th. I didn't do it with a game the day before. Was never good at it.
Yes, but anything
That makes it- it's big.
There's a really great horror RPG that's based on Jenga. And being able to pull Jenga, that could be fun.
We'll save that for October.
Yeah.
No, I like that idea of like having a family game night though. Awesome.
And speaking of games, but not really related, but I'll just throw in, I should have put it in staff announcements. If you would like to help give out candy for trick or treating, we always do it on Halloween at City Hall. So if you'd like to dress up and think about that, I'm happy to have you join us at City Hall. I haven't told Rita, but I did pick a theme this year for City Hall.
Horses.
Yeah, so City Hall will be decorated around a theme with costume. More to that.
Okay. Just let us know, we'll get prepared. All right, then we'll go ahead and move on to the next item if there's nothing further, which is commissioner terms. Discussion on commissioner terms.
Yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 commissioner positions that expire December 31st. Those positions are position 4, which is Brandy. The position 6, which is Commissioner Rudnicki. Position 7, which is Commissioner Tozer, and position 5, which is Commissioner Egbert.
Okay.
So the process for that typically is we'll put out an announcement on the website, but current commissioners can let us know if they remain interested in their seat. And then we'll just fill the open position, so.
That was my question, was if the commissioners are interested in keeping their seats, if they just keep their seats.
As 1-1.
Yes.
We don't have to like arm wrestle anybody and do a cage match.
Really?
No.
No, we got a family game night coming up.
And
Check
then the
this out.
remainder of the seats are open in 2026. That's customarily how it's done. I checked with how planning commission has done it. And usually people get asked if they want to keep their seat before we announce to the public any openings on the commission.
Given that Commissioner Ridicky's not here, I'm just tempted to just ask you, do you want to keep your seats?
I think.
I think so.
Okay, that's 3 answers right there.
You can let us know, ponder it, and you can write
Yeah.
to read it and then let us
We-
know.
It's not in stone, but just.
Yeah. Is there a time frame for having that? So is there a date?
In October,
October 15th is when we would release it to the public.
and I'll be in communication with those of you that are up for your seats or will be up.
Any further discussion?
We're not anticipating that there's gonna be a lot of different activities this year. They'll be pretty much like this year, right?
Well, you're in the middle of a 2-year biennial art
Yeah.
plan, so just next year, completing the plan, there is a large body of work that was planned for this biennial plan, which is to start inventorying all of the artwork in the city and creating a maintenance plan for it. So that is part of the art plan, and probably what we would do is break the city up into quadrants and have a commissioner take that and then work with the city to create
A data.
kind of a registry of what the art is and then a maintenance plan for it. So then if we get the maintenance plan done in time for next year's budget, we can plan any maintenance costs into the 2027-2028 city budget. That's kind of how we're thinking about how the cadence of that work.
Actually, saw a mention from Dan Cottrell not too long ago that he would really like to update some of the ironwork down by Depot Park. He says it's starting to needs a little upkeep on that. So that's something to keep in mind for when we start doing this. He's actually pretty willing to like that it's love. So still spins, I like it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to preserve what we have.
Excellent.
Anything further? Wow, my computer touchscreen is not giving me any. All right, then the next order of business is the New Year's celebration. Discussion on that. What do we have?
Yeah, so Cynthia and I met, we discussed the New Year's Eve celebration. The budget is $1,000. We were going to do 7 PM to 9 PM at Depot Park. We talked about offering s'mores, hiring a DJ, having the police department man the fire or the Boy Scouts, and maybe having you all provide a craft. You talked about last meeting, the pop-up art stuff. So we did the pop-up art at Summer Stage, which was fun. Chair
love it.
Hernandez was there and helped up with
For
that.
hours.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, and then using our movie screen equipment or projector to project like the countdown and then hot chocolate.
New York time.
New York, but not not here. So just kind of getting some feedback on if that all sounds good or other ideas you have for that event.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Something that I might want to consider with the fire, which would be a neat thing, is a New Year's Eve tradition that was in a town that I lived in State College, where you would make wishes. You would have paper to write your wishes on and then toss them into a fire to give them credence for the next year, which I think is actually a really neat idea if the fire department will allow something like that.
I mean, at that point, we shouldn't be in any burn ban, so.
As long as they're not, writing it on a firecracker and throwing it in there.
Yeah.
Yes, the town I lived in was a little different. But yeah, that's one thing I think would be a neat idea, a little activity to have.
Sweet idea.
But yeah, I'm happy with this plan. Does anyone else have any ideas for stuff to do for this plan?
It's my birthday, so I think we should make it about.
I'll get those firecrackers.
Would you please? About my bubble festival.
I think that's the plan for 2026.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up.
Yeah.
Also, we could just bring a bubble machine.
I mean, we have a bubble machine and a
Bubble
like
stand
speaker.
from Splash Day, which ended up being,
Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about Splash Day. That was
Yeah.
amazing, Yeah.
we ended up, how many did we think? We ended up close to 300 kids up at Big Rock. It was insane, very tiring. Reed and I attended the summer.
It was We learned a lot from that event. Yeah.
Lots of like, how to adapt
Mhm.
to what could be a really hot day, so it was a really hot day, and then get ice cream planned early.
The fire department came out, did the water spraying, which is really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. More regarding the fire, there's a big fire pit in front of the city hall. Not the city hall, but the fire station.
The fire station or the police station?
Police station.
Yeah, wait a minute.
That's something.
Yeah, that's what we would be using.
Yeah, I'm using the depot park for all this.
Yeah, okay.
I love that idea so much. I'd also like to maybe do, just have a place where people can write the resolutions. They don't necessarily need to throw them into the fire or anything, but just, well, we've got that energy going.
A banner with
Yeah.
some paint markers or something like.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I suggest some marshmallows for that and sticks, so people can actually do marshmallows and then also
Yeah.
hot chocolate.
Cynthia mentioned both of those. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, hot chocolate, s'mores, a DJ.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
You
all
could probably also think about maybe a small performance under the stage, yeah. But keeping it short, because by 9 o'clock, people want to go off to their family.
Yeah.
Event, yeah.
I love this. This is one of my personal pet projects. I'm glad it's coming out. I'm so glad about it. Thank you all for the work you're doing on this.
Love to test things and see has stickiness, with the community. Some things have worked out really well, and we'll just keep at it until we get kind of our, what we do every year set of events. But we have some things that really the community has loved in the last, Holy was, I think, really successful, and the community that we partnered with for Holy want to do it again. So that'll be in March, Touch a Truck in May. So we're kind of getting what we know works.
We're lining together.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the Arbor Day Trio-palooza we're gonna do, where we just put seeds everywhere.
So this year also in the plan for Arbor Day is.
Oh, you have a
draft-
plan.
We do. So I think there's money attached
Yeah.
to it for prizes. The giraffe recycling at Arbor Day. So, creating a giraffe out of recycled material. Like we have enough money for first, second, and third, prize for that this year.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Now I feel bad. I was making fun of something you honestly were working on.
You were just being fun.
I would be quick. I've had a rough day and I'm looking for fun.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, 2026, we have the giraffe flood gauge, native plant mural. Recycled art, the performances at Depot, the Bubble Festival, which we are talked about combining with Splash Day, and then Color Pop.
Oh, and we didn't do, because we just didn't have time to program it with the 25th anniversary. But the biennial also called for World Photography Day
Yes.
competition. That's also on the art plan.
Perfect.
For 2026.
Anything further? Okay, if not, we'll go on to the item that I added, which was the Washington Creative District. Off the bat, I'll just go ahead and mention what I've done, because I've actually worked on this a bit in the last month. In August, Cami Hansen, who spoke earlier, president of the Duvall Foundation Performance of the Art, or Foundation for the Arts, reached out to me about helping to create that creative district for Duvall. Wanting to work with us with the city of, or working with the city of Duvall to begin that process, which usually runs about 18 months. I feel that the council would be a great place to discuss possibly gathering or partnering. I need a bigger font. I have turned 51. Possibly partnering up with the DFA is right up our alley. One of the ideas that came up with, it was a bit ambitious idea for creating a theater space in the city, place for theater performances, film screenings, among other things, something which could not only bring people but revenue to the city, and make film buffs like me very happy. I've wanted a cinema in town, even if it was a small film festival cinema. The only real movement that we did when we were speaking was that we felt we needed to have Cami and one of us, probably me, since I'm kind of spearheading this at this point, approach King County Councilperson Sarah Perry for advice and guidance. Because she helped create these districts, as she said, I believe it was in Edmonds. She's also done one in Issaquah. And I believe that she could be a big help in getting it started here in Duvall as well. We're right in her backyard, we're in the district. Assuming we want to move forward on this, there are questions that I have for the DFA that I would like to know. Mainly, what do they know? Go ahead.
You know, I'm a DFA.
Yes. This is more for the record than anything else. Mainly, what did the DFA need from the city and what does the city need from the DFA? However, Cammy gave us a lot of information about that earlier, so I think we have that right out. So I'll open this up to general discussion with the caveat that I may not have all the answers from our meetings. It wasn't a very long one, but it was a pretty in-depth one. But I'll happily forward those to the DFA, or Wendy Einberg can probably do that as well. I don't want to speak for
We're
you.
meeting one night.
Oh, well, there you go. Tomorrow night. And report back next meeting. Any discussion or anything from the staff?
Yeah, so just by way of background, Rita and I, for about a year, tag teamed a meeting that Sarah Perry convened of all of her municipalities on creative. So between Rita and I, we attended quite a few of those meetings, learned a lot about how to form a creative district. It's an 18-month process. So it's fairly extensive. They require quite a bit of pre-work to even kind of get into their line. So I gave each of you a quick cheat sheet. So this is from Arts Walk, which is the organization that certifies creative districts. And so this is their pre-application checklist, the minimum requirements to apply. So it's not insubstantial. So clearly defined district mission and values, clearly defined arts and culture identity with concentration of artists or cultural activities. I mean, that I think, you know, we meet a brand. So part of what needs to happen is you need to form a team before you even apply that kind of gets through this checklist of creating what is your district going to be called? What's your brand? What genres and groups are you going to fold in? I think for us, area is walkable and easily navigable. I mean, I think for the most part, you know, we have an area that could be our certified district. So this kind of goes through what the requirements are for even getting in front of the program staff. And then if you go to Arts WA, there is the Certified Creative District Program, and they have a community readiness workbook. It's on fiscal year 25-26 edition. And so this kind of walks you through everything that it takes to become a creative district. And it's actually very helpful. I have one copy here, but it's easily found on the website. But it kind of works through beginning to end. So the first kind of set is, what is the vision, mission, and values of this creative district you want to form? So what is the vision? And you need to have a statement. So the group kind of needs to pre-form and do a lot of work before you can even fill out the application. So a vision statement, a mission statement, what are the community values or the district values? This part's a little easy, I think. Describe the types of artistic or cultural activities that take place in the region and what you might do more of. Is there a placemaking anchor, which kind of goes to, I think, some of DFA's interest in having a theater, having a single placemaking location. So the answer for us right now is no, but you know, you can fill in the application what that might look like. Are there industries that are attached to it? And then there's a whole section on community identity and demographics. What are some adjectives that describe the personality or vibe of your future creative district? So I think it would be helpful for whatever community of interested organizations and people form to work through the workbook. And then we can talk about whether or not we can apply.
What's the name of the website?
It's called Arts Law. So it's the Washington State Arts Commission. And if you just type in creative district, you'll see. It comes up with a workbook and then this pre-application checklist. But really the way to start is to start with the workbook, because it walks you through. The very beginning all the way to the end, and what this group, this Washington Arts Commission will require to certify.
Marina?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, so I was just gonna recommend, Jen, if you'd like to reach out to Woodinville Creative, the last year that Cynthia and I were attending. They actually, there was a group that got together and formed Woodinville Creative, and if you go to their website, they've done all the work this last year. And I believe they already applied to be a
and are
creative
close to
district.
being certified.
Yeah, so that group has gotten together, they've done a ton of outreach, a ton of work, I mean, they really spearheaded that. And I just wanna clarify that it's not really the city that does it, it has to be like DFA, like you guys would create a Duvall Creative District. Group that would be doing that work, so. Yeah, but yeah, I would highly recommend reaching out to them, because they, in a year, I mean, they did a really great job.
But it does take about a year of planning before you apply.
Okay.
What's the name of the Woodinville group that?
Woodinville Creative.
Oh, that makes sense.
Commissioner Tozer?
I'm reading through the community readiness kit. What's the ultimate payoff? What's the why? What does it get you? What does it do other than a sign and some certification? What is the benefit to the community?
The idea that I got from talking with them is essentially to have a theater performance space that people from around the county would come here for it. The idea of bringing people here to not just see the art, but to stay here and spend a little bit of money. That is how I looked at it from the city's point of view of, and to be a little bit selfish, it's like, what does it give us? And the idea is to get people to come here and stay here. Enrich their lives a little bit with a little bit of art, and then go to CC's for ice cream, or go to Zeke's or Red Pepper for pizza. But basically, get them here.
Yeah.
To and stay here. If it's a festival, let's say we do a film festival of some sort, that could be a multi-day thing. We don't have any hotels or anything, but they would be here in town over 2 or 3 days. And I think that works very well. Commissioner Frazier?
I'm not sure I follow why we need to have a creative district to do any of those.
The creative district, that's true. The creative district would get us grants.
Oh.
That's right.
Okay.
Does this get you to the super secret pot of money or something? Are there larger pots of money or resources available? Because if you get access to a $20,000 pot, well, that's probably not worth it. If you get access to a $2 million pot and you're one of a dozen, that might be worth it. But I think understanding what the actual strategy here is will determine whether that effort's worthwhile.
The idea would be mostly grant work for that. That said, I would need to do a little bit more research on that. We've only just touched the surface on this.
Yep.
It's a lot of work.
There's a lot of work.
For a grant, I did one for DFA.
There's a lot of work.
That's $20,000.
Just as an example, here's what the timeline that would build, so. Sean, you were kind of asking why are we doing that?
Yeah.
There's a mission. Vision, values, and then here's their timeline. Yeah.
There is money for creative districts. The other thing that those who have gone through it, because I talked to Issaquah, their economic development manager, is you get access to tourism promotion that I think for some cities there's some value in, and then there's a certain amount of grant money that comes from the Arts Walk Commission that you have access to. It's a healthy amount of money. My socks weren't blown off by it. We're not talking $2 million. It would not be enough to build a theater. It would be enough to do some advertising. Now, as a creative district, is your potential for capital grant in other buckets other than the arts law bucket potentially more lucrative? I mean, it could be.
Then I guess the real question is, with this, now knowing all what we know about this, is this something we want to pursue? I wouldn't mind pursuing it if we are council. And I would like all your input on that if you have it. Commissioner Frazier.
I think I'd like to learn more about how deep the process goes and what the
Oh.
long-term benefits are. I'd love to encourage more creativity and
Exactly, yeah.
display the arts in town. I just want to make sure this is the right way to invest all of our efforts.
Right, and it's my understanding that the cultural commission and the city don't necessarily have to be part of it, is that true? Or do they need city buy-in?
They
They
do.
do.
So, yeah, so the way it works is, it can be the city doing it. But the city has to support it. So you would get a group of, and I don't know what Windmills did in Issaquah, it was a group of 5 or 6 community organizations that got together and kind of pulled resources to lift their creative district. And then once they kind of had worked through a lot of this with some city input, but the city kind of takes a backseat to the mission, vision, and values. I mean, we would be an interested party, but not the driver of that. So once you kind of get ready, you then, as I understand the few that I've looked into, then you present the entire concept to the city council. Or you would start here to the cultural commission would make a recommendation to city council. City council then looks at all of it, drafts a resolution in support, but that's several steps ahead. But yes, you can't do it if the city council doesn't approve it, but the city can't do it.
Gotcha, thank you for the clarification. Well, I think it sounds more of this, because. Yeah, it puts a focus on the arts and it opens up extra resources, extra possible monies. That said, as much as I think it's a great idea, I am kind of at capacity with projects right now and can't take on a helping role, so here's more work. for Jen.
That's fine. I've got the relationship with them already, so does Wendy. I do not mind doing the extra legwork. Again, the main question that I'm hearing is this really worth it? And it's up to us to find out if it is. And like I said, I just started this process, so I can't answer
My
that.
question is, should we invite other arts groups to participate?
That's a fabulous idea.
From what I saw in the paperwork, it's basically as many as we can get. You know, they basically need a group and the city to get together. But the more groups that are in on this, the more likely it's gonna go through. There was a big, long list of different organizations who could be part of this partnership. It's just that the city was required in that. Commissioner Frazier? Or Tozer?
Well, along your lines, I think that it's not just necessarily art groups, it could be chamber, it could be Rotary, it could be other civic groups that are interested or want to draw more attention here. So I think that we don't need to limit our pool to just arts.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
there's other community
Chamber
organizations.
of Commerce might be interested.
And if maybe everybody gives 8 hours of effort to this, maybe that helps ease the burden.
Seems like forming a unique group to develop the creative district with representatives from all the other groups that would have buy-in would be the best idea.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving this entirely on one group's shoulders.
Administrator McMahon?
So the city can put out an offer to convene.
Oh.
So that, and we could get it to all of the groups and then get kind of the group started. You will find out quickly how many people are interested or not. So we can convene a workshop. Probably at the same time as a cultural commission meeting. To see who shows up. And then that will kind of help tell. You know, if there's a group of people invested enough to lift it. Was it Tenino? I can't remember what city. The chamber did it in one of the cities that I looked at. It was kind of the convener. And then the arts organizations kind of fed into them. It wasn't Issaquah, it was one of the smaller, like Coopville or Tenino, one of those. So there's lots of ways to do it, but it's not just that you want to do it, you work to do this, you have to be certified. And so the more community members you have, the other thing when Rita and I were involved in the calls from Councilmember Perry. There was an idea that doing it connected with Carnation would be successful because it would make a bigger art district. So something to think about.
I will say, and I didn't want to bring this up because I didn't know if I could bring this up, but since you opened the door on that. I was told that this is basically something that they just want to start with us, that it will then roll down the rest of the valley. They do want to get Carnation involved. They do want to get North Bend, Snoqualmie involved in this. But that we, with a functioning cultural commission, would be a great start for this. I don't know if that means 18 months for all those other cities after us, but if we start this and that ball can get rolling. That said, my primary thought is what do we do for Duvall and what can we do? What does Duvall get from this? Everyone else, we would like to help them, but the primary focus is us. And I think the legal focus is us too. We can't do anything for the other cities.
Yeah, I mean, we can get started, certainly. I mean, if we wanted to do an ILA or joint partnership with Carnation, we could. It's just what, who has capacity to do what. We kind of took that approach with the Historical Society and the Farm Passport, which was, this is really about Duvall. Duvall is the city that got the grant funding and resources for it. So we were going to focus on ours and kind of spread where we could to Carnation as a good partner. But that we're really going to center our attention on Duvall.
So in that case,
Just got some sort of a grant. I can't remember the specifics, but there's right outside of the food bank, hopefully, there's a big banner with congratulating Carnation. I can't remember what they got.
Well, they won the 425
That's it.
East Side City,
Best city in the world.
yes,
That's it, yeah.
which is clearly Duvall we were on, but. I didn't say that.
You're on record now.
No, kudos to Carnation, but yeah, they like have Port of Seattle grant that was awarded, and some other stuff that they've used to support some of their special events.
so I'm making up a list of to-dos here. I'm sorry. It's only 2 right now, actually. Mainly because the further stuff to do depends on the first couple of things, which is number 1, I should learn more about the process, report back what we're getting in response to this.
Here you go.
It's funny because you mentioned the 4 arts. You mentioned the 4 arts workbook, and I was like, I skimmed that at 4:30. So, but thank you for this. What do we get out of it, and so on. From there, we need to figure out like, what are some of my other notes here? More about the process, trying to see about getting other values. The base or other organizations involved. I think it basically boils down to I need to sit down, figure out exactly what this is going to do, not just for us, but for the community, and then report back here, see if it's something that we want to do. And then we start working the next step, which is getting that partnership in this. And that discussion started, not completed, but at least started. So I will get back to you with these. Do you all have any questions specifically for me to research?
Is there anybody we can liaise with on something like that? On kind of finding out what, how their process went and answering some questions and
Like
what
with
they're
other
looking to get
cities.
out of
Like
it.
Woodinville Creative.
Yeah, I think Woodinville probably is your best bet because they're doing it now.
So much bigger.
Woodinville Creative.
Coopville is one. And the size of the city in terms of administration at least is approximate.
Right.
Let's see, look at the other creative districts, see if I can find it on my phone. Canina was one where I thought was interesting because the size of the city is small and kind of figuring out how they looked at it might be curious because they're down by Olympia. Districts. Bainbridge, Bremerton, Burien. I don't know that I know how to say the name of this city. Chewelah, north of Spokane.
How do you spell
Chewelah.
Native American.
Coopville. And then Koala is a combination of College Park and Walla Walla. Edmonds, Ellensburg. Issaquah. Langley is also small, so both Langley and Coopville have one. Moses Lake. And then Olympia or Townsend. Rainier Valley in Seattle is a kind of a collective, like it's more of a neighborhood one than a city one. Soap Lake. Which is more around, centered around, a healing space in native heritage. South Columbia, which is, kind of like along the banks of the Columbia River. Tenino, Twist. Those are all of them in the state.
Wow, twist. All three.
So there are some small cities that would be, I think, a good. Good to reach out to and see how they did it and their process for it.
And also how they're enjoying it, like who's
Yeah.
had them longer.
Yeah, did they get a big grant award for it? What were they able to invest in? If you decide to pursue it, give Rita and I about a month heads up because we can. Create a flyer and, call for people to come to a cultural commission meeting and we can use that as a workshop to see who's interested. So we're happy to do that, kind of jumpstart it. Like I said, you'll see if you have a big enough group to do it. I don't know how many DFA members are on the board, but my sense is
Pretty small.
it's a pretty small group to lift something this big.
Yeah.
But I can approach them
Mhm.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
If Elizabeth Hill is doing this, she could do it herself. She just needs the legal backing of us saying, go do it, Elizabeth. Well, awesome. So it looks like I've got my homework planned out for me. Was there any other questions that you all had that you wanted me to look into?
Did you want to do that? Do you need some help? Like.
I ain't gonna say no.
That's a yes. So,
That is absolutely a yes. My only other concern about this is that if I spearhead this, there is a possibility that I may not be on this council come after November. And it would need to be in the hands of someone else at that point.
What?
Don't look at me, it wouldn't be my fault if I wasn't.
Jen's running for city council.
Mm.
So I'm not sure if she can serve on the.
Yeah, I don't think I can serve here. Hold on. That said, if I do all, yeah.
I'm wondering about that.
Yes, that is something that if I put a lot of work into it and then suddenly I'm not here, someone else would have to back that up. So I wouldn't mind having your help if that meant possibly taking over the position if that happens.
Always like to have.
But yes, I would appreciate it. So awesome. Anything further? If there's nothing further. Does anyone have anything for the good of the order? Nothing? Well, in that case, our next meeting will be on October 13th at 5:30 PM. The Cultural Commission meeting for September 8th, 2025 is adjourned at 6:35. Y'all have a good night. I'm not sure what I can say and what I think, so I've been keeping my mouth shut.
So I'll come up with a list of kind of questions that are something like that.
Yeah, just email me them and I'll get started on it as soon as I